So, quick overview of what we'll be touching on today. Got a quick introduction for you guys. I wanted to touch on what the value of in-store displays is and what it could bring to your retail storefront. I wanted to touch on briefly kind of the theory of seeing is believing and how seeing, touching, and then getting a more intimate understanding of our products can help boost sales for your business. I wanted to touch on some of the displays we have available. We got about 6 current displays to choose from. How you can go about purchasing these, and any available specials that we may have, either through distribution or if you're a direct customer from us. And then lastly, I'll touch on some of the resources and tools available to you to purchase from Brandmotion, and then I'll wrap things up with a conclusion. So first things first, wanted to touch on who I am and what I do here at Brandmotion. So my name's Adam DeGroat. I'm an account manager here. Been here for a little bit over a year and a half. And I'm part of the account relationship team, which is led by our sales and service manager, Lucas Frank. And then you'll see myself and a couple other people in the department. Beyond the account relationship team, we also have returns, technical support, accounting, product development, warehouse and shipping, wire harness builders, and connected vehicles, all in-house, all separate departments that I work with closely every day. If you want to learn more about the company or if you have any questions, feel free to go to brandmotion.com and learn more about us. So getting right into it, what is the value of an in-store display? So what do we mean by in-store display? Everyone knows what a camera looks like. Not everyone knows what a wireless charging unit or maybe even an ADAS unit or advanced driver assistance system may look like. So what this is a way to bring a live product into your store to show how they function, what the feature set is, the advantages and benefits from those features. And so a customer can not only see it, but in most cases put their hands on it and touch and feel the quality of the product. So an interesting statistic is that in-store displays are crucial for driving conversations with a customer, as we know, but displays alone can influence 24% of purchases, according to the NPD Group. And you can click the NPD Group there for the link. Essentially, they're just a market research group who compiled this data. But what we're saying here is that an in-store display can boost the chance of a sale up to 24% in a retail storefront scenario. In-store displays can also create impulse buys, where someone can just decide they're going to buy something on a snap or a whim without putting much thought or plan into it, which for a consumer can sometimes be a concern, but for a business owner, you typically want to encourage an impulse buy. It means you're selling more products without as high of an effort when you're closing an impulse buy. Second, it can also, a consumer can purchase something that they were not originally planning to buy. So if you come into a store and you know you're looking for parking sensors and you happen to see the backup camera portion of the store, you might go ahead and purchase a backup camera that you weren't planning on purchasing. So studies have shown that in-store displays are more effective at boosting sales than price discounting. So as business owners or as a salesperson in a business, that margin is your bread and butter. That's what you live on. That's how the lights stay on. That's how you keep people employed. So without having to shrink that margin down very much, we can still boost sales by making an initial investment in in-store displays, rather than offering a price discount to, as I mentioned, shrink your margin. So displays can also create a wow factor or a sense of urgency for a customer, where if they see something and understand the value of it, they then feel urgency to bring that safety product to their vehicle. If someone sees the power of a radar blind spot unit or the wide feature set of an ADAS unit, they may then think, boy, I really need that system for my vehicle or my son's vehicle, my daughter's vehicle, to help them stay safe on the road because X, Y, or Z's happened to them. They've been in an accident before. Just seeing a product and understanding what it does can create a sense of urgency. Think about when you walk into Best Buy and you go to the little store within a store of Apple. When you walk up to the bench and there's 3 new MacBooks sitting out, nice and pretty, fully functional, turned on, everyone is drawn to them. It's usually one of the busier areas of the store, along with the cell phone area. Why? Because these are usable, touchable, tangible in-store displays that customers can look at, touch, feel, operate to get a more intimate understanding of the product. And it kind of creates the theory of seeing is believing. When they see the product and know how it works, they can relate it to something in their life and understand the value of it. So what is this seeing is believing? Here at Brandmotion, we offer premium OEM sourced driver safety products into the automotive aftermarket. And those of you who've been in the automotive aftermarket long enough know that it's a extremely populated market. There's a lot of companies out there who produce a lot of similar products. But what separates ourselves from our competitors is when consumers can get their hands on our product and see the quality firsthand. When you pick up a wireless charging module and you compare apples to apples with another, or when you take our camera and you look at the reviews and you hold it in your hand compared to a competitor, I think that's where we create the wow factor. That's where we create a sense of urgency. That's how we get customers to then say, I will pay a little bit extra for a higher quality product because I know it'll help me down the road. I won't have to replace it after 6 months or a year. I know it's going to last me several years, or even the life of my vehicle. Displays are especially beneficial for feature-rich products, such as our ADAS 1100 or the FVMR 1000. So when you've got more than 10 or 12 bullet points of features to run through, if you list those all off in a sales pitch, or if someone reads them on a sign, they might recognize one or two and tune out the rest. Not that they don't know how to read the bullet points, but they see it and recognize it, but it doesn't stick with them. They don't take that knowledge away with them. But with a display, and when you touch and feel something, it's more easy to remember the color of something than it is to remember a feature set. If, let's say, you're going to shop for a car and you test drive something, you're going to remember the feel and look of that car more than you're going to remember the square foot of torque, or the MPGs, or the window tint option. I think the feel is what people get from seeing. They understand, they can relate it to their life, and that's kind of what seeing is believing is really all about. And customers can more clearly understand the benefit of features when they see them in action. So when you see a advanced driver assistance system or a looping video of it operate driving down the road, alerting a driver of an oncoming vehicle, or maybe if they were stopped at a light and the vehicle in front of them leaves and it beeps. When people see that in action, it's a lot more powerful than just reading the bullet point, because we all know how embarrassing it could be if you're stopped at a light, distracted, and someone lays on the horn behind you to tell you it's time to get moving, the lights turn to green. So when people are able to see that and get the secondhand awkward from just seeing that in a video, they can then relate that to their life and say, I would really enjoy having that product in my vehicle, so I don't have to run into that issue anymore. And a little quick note on our displays, all of our in-store displays are fully powered and fully functional. They're either going to be one of two options. If it's a little bit more complex and expensive to keep in store, like our ADAS 1100, which is $749.95 retail cost, the more cost-effective and beneficial route, rather than having the actual head unit in store, is what we do is give a monitor, a display monitor with an SD card and a looping video that shows how it functions. So you're either going to get that screen with a looping video on the more complex products, or you'll get a live working product on some of the simpler ones and easier to operate in store. So the first example I wanted to touch on for the in-store displays is our part number DISP-1008. And what this is a wireless charging in-store display designed to replicate the model that we have, the FDMC 1310, which is a 15-watt wireless charging triple coil model. So it's a fully functional wireless charging unit. And what this is really great for is waiting rooms. Let's say someone is getting a tune-up on their vehicle at a dealership, maybe getting their tires changed. They're at a tinting shop, getting their the windows tinted, getting a remote starter installed. They might be sitting there for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe a half hour or longer. So something they can interact with, something they can add value to their own life, like charging their phone with. Not only will make it a more comfortable environment for your store, but it may get them asking the question of, boy, this is pretty nice. How can I get this in my vehicle? I see a picture of it there installed in a center console. What's that about? How much would that cost? So this will engage more conversations and, again, reinforce the idea that this could bring in a sale from someone who was not even aware of wireless charging in their vehicle, or didn't even think about the possibility of adding it. So it's kind of creating that new sale out of nowhere just by having this positioned well in your store. So again, this is the wireless charging in-store display meant to replicate the part number FDMC 1310. Moving on to the next one, we've got the DISP 3000, which is a replicate of the ADAS 1100 or the Advanced Driver Assistance System. So as I mentioned, this is going to be a looping video rather than the product itself, designed to just go over the feature set, show a couple live examples of how it operates. So what you're seeing here is a little desktop display and a display monitor. The monitor, as I mentioned, does come with an SD card preloaded with the video. So all you have to do is set it down, power it in with a wall plug, slide in the SD card, and bam, it's going to start looping. You can power on and off by just plugging or unplugging. This is a great fleet and driver safety product if you're unaware of what it is. Essentially, it's a collision avoidance system with about 10 or 15 other features. And as I had mentioned, it has an extremely wide feature set with having 10 or 15 features. So having something like this to display in store really helps you create a selling message to the customer. It helps them understand the features and bring those advantages and benefits tangibly to their life to help understand it more easily. Moving on, we've got the DISP 4000, which is the curb alert display. Accidentally wrote the ADAS display up there, but this is for the curb alert systems, and it has a looping video of how the curb alert systems operate. So for those of you not aware of what the curb alert system is, it is designed for a low-hanging vehicle, typically going to be in a sports car. Corvettes, Mustangs, as you see at BMW, there are typically going to be our primary customer who are looking for a product like this. It's going to be mounted right in the front fascia, designed to look down on the ground, shoots out a sensor about the width of a pencil, looking for curbs. So once you see a curb, beep, 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 lets you know. We do also have an option with a video interface to go into a factory display. Either way, they function the same. They both include a sensor, and then one just also has a camera, which can be triggered with the sensor. So what comes in the display? It's going to be similar to the ADAS, which we had seen previous. It's going to be a display monitor with an SD card preloaded with the video. And if you're dealing with any sports cars, or if you have any people who are always ripping off that front fascia on their vehicle when they hit a curb, this is the product they're looking for. And it does have a functional curb alert sensor on there, so they can understand what the detection range is and the type of objects it can detect. Basically anything within 8 to 21 inches in front of the sensor. Moving on, we've got the DISP 5000, which is the radar blind spot display. So here at Brandmotion, we have two different types of radar blind spot. Both are sourced from the OEM supply chain. So that means that these radar systems that we sell, you can find in brand new OEM vehicles right off the lot. We're one of only a few companies in the entire world that is able to sell this product. So we're extremely fortunate that we offer one of the highest grade and highest performing radar systems on the market. What we're looking at here is the RDBS 1520, which is specific to the F-150. Our other unit is universal to any vehicle newer than 2007 that doesn't have metal or chrome in the bumper. Given that the F-150 does, our workaround to that is we created this housing which matches perfectly to the top of the bumper. So looking at the right half, just to the right of the monitor, you'll see what looks like somewhat of a teardrop or a comma on top of the bumper. That's the housing that goes around the radar system, just drills right into place. So the whole display is going to be the looping video, similar to the two previous we had seen, that will go over the feature set and some functionality. And then you'll have about a quarter to a third of a actual F-150 bumper, adhered to the display, and then with that teardrop insert on top of it. So this shows off, the seamless look of the integration, and then a looping video of the functionality. And it's a good way to just, get the message across about both products. Since it's the same sensor in both the 1500 and the 1520, Once people understand the feature set of the 1520, it'll also help them wrap their head around the 1500, which is our universal system. Moving forward, we'll touch on the DISP 6000, which is designed to replicate part number 9002-3003, which is a switchable parking sensor and LED display. So what does switchable parking sensor mean? Simply put, it just means it can be used in the front or rear. Typically, when you get a parking sensor system, it's just going to be in the back or just going to be in the front. In this case, we are working with a switchable sensor that can be used in both. You can't use half and half. It can't be two in the front, two in the back. It's got to be all four on one side. And then what we've got here is another looping video that shows functionality and then actual working proximity sensors. So as you get closer to them, you will see that LED bar at the top grow wider or shrink smaller depending on the range to the proximity sensors. So again, this is really enforcing the seeing is believing idea. As people are walking closer or further, they think, boy, I'd like to know when someone's walking behind me when I'm pulling out of a parking spot so I don't bump into their cart when I'm leaving a store or whatever the scenario may be. But this is really going to drive home the idea of how this could benefit their life. And then the last one we'll touch on is going to be the DISP 7000, which is the display for the full view mirror. This has been one of our top selling products in the last year. And if you all are familiar with Brandmotion, I'm fairly certain you'd be familiar with this product. It's been a very high mover for us, a lot of excitement, a lot of people buying into this product. And what it is a digital mirror replacement, two camera system, 1080p, HD, 2-channel DVR. And as you can see, another very wide feature set. I could list 10 or 15 things off very quickly, spout out a bunch of information. But the value this brings home is that the consumer can touch and feel and understand what the product does firsthand. They can scroll on the mirror to understand the touchscreen functionality. They can swipe side to side to see how to change camera views. They can go into the video files to access the files that are saved there. They can lock and record videos themselves. They can start to understand the value it can bring to their vehicle without ever leaving your store. So if I had to pick one that creates probably the most wow factor, it would be this one for a multitude of reasons, but most simply put, it's a new and exciting product, one that a lot of people aren't as familiar with, and that's just starting to break into the OEM market as we see more and more digital rearview mirrors, typically in your higher end vehicles. And really what is most important about this, and I can't stress enough, is that when people get to touch the touchscreen, I think they really start to see the value and the quality that this product brings. So just a quick recap of the 6 products we touched on. We've got wireless charging in-store display, the ADAS or advanced driver assistance display, curb alert, radar blind spot, switchable parking sensors front or rear, and then the full view mirror 1000, one of our top selling products. So how do you go about purchasing these? How can you help drive up sales in your store? Direct customers, you can just reach out to your account manager for more information and pricing. Distribution customers, simply reach out to your rep, whoever you deal with through your distributor, and they can reach out to their account manager to get more information, pricing, and availability. But beyond that, we do also offer some specials with this. We're always running, sort of BOGO specials or buy some, get one sort of special. One example I like to give is maybe if you buy 5 full view mirror 1000 products in a initial order, you would get one DISP 7000 or full view mirror display for free. So again, just reach out to your account manager or sales rep for more information, or if you want to pursue any specials we may have with the in-store displays. And then hopefully in turn that will help you boost sales for your business. So to wrap things up, keep things nice and short today, I wanted to last touch on the resources and tools we have available within Brandmotion. The first and foremost is going to be the vehicle configurator. So if you're looking for parts and you don't know what part you need within Brandmotion, go to the Brandmotion website, brandmotion.com. Right up at the top, you'll see a button that says search by vehicle. Go ahead and touch that button. Follow the prompts to select your vehicle, the product category you're looking for, and then bam, it'll spit out a product for you, which you can then go type in the part number on our website to find more information or purchase through a distributor, or if you're a direct account through us. Second, another one is the application guide. Those of you who direct with us likely have access to this. If not, you'll see my contact information at the end of this, and I can provide you access to it. This is for if you're looking for quick part numbers, you need to use the Control F or search function on your computer, type in a quick part number or a vehicle make and model, and you will see the parts needed for the required category. Last one, as I had mentioned briefly earlier, is the Brandmotion website. This is probably the best research tool we have to learn more about a product if you're interested in. You can select the product categories, or you can simply type in a part number. Insider tip, if you type in the last 4 digits, it's usually a little bit quicker to get to the product required. And then you'll see features, integration, compatibility, even packaging information. We try to put almost everything we have on that web page so you can have all your information in one spot. So, as I mentioned, we'll keep things short today. Thank you for joining. Again, my name is Adam DeGroat. I'm an account manager here at Brandmotion. You'll see my contact information listed below. And thank you for joining.